Goodness gracious, golly me, hello. Do you have an appointment with someone? With me? Oh, you have an appointment with me? Oh, goodness gracious, golly dear, hooray. Well, let's get into it then. You probably know this already, but my name is Rhys von Kirschner. I am but one of the many Rhys von Kirschners that's travailing about the universe. Perhaps you've heard of us. I suspected that you might have. We are quite notorious on this side of the underworld. So, I do have a bit of a spiel prepared if you'd like to hear the spiel that I'm going to give. You do? Oh, goodness gracious, you are the first person in a while who has actually wanted to hear my little spiel that I have. Okay, well, goodness, okay. Don't come to me. I forget the spiel. You know what, give me 1 second. I gotta look it up. I have it filed away here somewhere. Goodness gracious, folly me. It has certainly been one of those days, you know what I mean? It's really more been like one of those 500 years. You know, yeah. You ever have times like that? Me too. It's definitely a Monday. I don't really mind Mondays that much, you know, though. I think they're quite pleasant, actually. Pick up from all the laziness that happened on Sunday, recovering from the debauchery that happened on Saturday and Friday, and Thursday and Tuesday. I don't take part in any of that, mind you, but that's neither here nor there. The spiel. Okay, here we go. It appears that I was on the right track. All right, so my name is Rhys von Kirschner. As you can see, I am one of the many other Rhys von Kirschners that is travailing about the universe. For brevity's sake, they call me Rhys in accounting. It's a pleasure to meet you under such dubious circumstances. So, spiel. My job, you see, you want to know what my job is? Do you want to know what my job is? My job is that I'm an accountant. Rhys in accounting. It is my purpose in life to sit here at this little desk in this little cubicle and keep track of all of the secretarying and accounting that goes on in this little side of the universe. Every single bit. It is my sole responsibility to account for each and every other single one of the Rhyses here. All 996 of us. Yes, I am the bookkeeper, the record keeper, the lore keeper, the doorkeeper, the door knocker, the door answerer, the phone caller, the... Excuse me, 1 moment, please. This is the front desk, Rhys von Kirschner speaking. With whom may I direct your call? Oh, Rhys von Kirschner, how are you? Oh, absolutely, I can do that right away. I would love to direct your call to Rhys von Kirschner. Say hi to them for me, would you? Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks, have a great one. You too, Rhys von Kirschner. My pleasure. My pleasure. Deepest apologies. As I was saying, what was I saying? My job. It is my job to account for all the Rhyses here, as you saw, answering the phone, doing that, because of the rest of the Rhyses being the way that they are. They don't necessarily want to do all of the other things. But it's nothing to fret about. Absolutely nothing to fret about, because I love it. I love working the front desk, and you know why I love working the front desk? Because here, in this little cubicle, I get to file the papers and handle all the numbers and the little office supplies and the posters that I can decorate at this little cubicle right here. It keeps me safe from the outside world. I don't have to deal with whatever is going on up there with all other 900 of my brethren. So it keeps me safe from Asmodeus, and that is just the way that we like it around here, am I right? Yes, absolutely. So, with all that said, what can I do for you today? You're here to file your taxes? Yes, of course, you are in the correct place for that. Rhys in accounting. Yes. Yes, in hell. Where else would you file your taxes but hell? Am I right? To me, though, I think it's a rather good kind of hell. I love numbers. Goodness, that shouldn't have happened. You'd think I would know how to use this technology after about 500 years of using it, but that never seems to be the case now, does it? Goodness golly gracious me. Goodness golly gracious me. Good golly gracious me. Gracious. Okay. So, you are here to file your taxes. So, you are in the correct place. I know there's been some talk about whether or not Asmodeus will be extending the deadline because of the little outbreak of the plague that's going on the surface, but Lady Glacia has made it clear that that is very simply not going to be the case. So good on you for coming in and filing early. As they say, you know, the early bird does certainly get the worm. Or as they say down here, the early bird gets the purple worm, which, now that I think of it, isn't necessarily a good thing to be getting. Is it? I suppose it would be more like the early bird doesn't get the purple worm in that scenario. That would be the more positive outcome of that scenario, I feel like. So, we'll file that one away somewhere. Early bird does not, in fact, get the worm. That one's going in the record books. Lore keeper, record keeper, saying keeper, saying modifier. Anyways, you are here to file your taxes. I have the documents right here. I am Rhys in accounting and nothing else. I have to ask you a few basic questions. Have you filed with us before? Never in your life. You certainly like to live on the edge, don't you? I don't mind at all. I quite understand. I can get down with that. Absolutely, absolutely. So, because of that, though, I will need to copy your information into our system as we go. And it might heighten your filing fee a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. Payment is due up front, so you can also leave me a nice little tip at the end if you appreciate your service today. I know I would greatly, deeply be appreciative of that. So if I'm starting you up here, all fresh and new, so that no one comes looking for you, with time and handling, it's looking like it's going to come out to 60 gold. Is that all right with you? Not that you have much of a say. This isn't a bartering kind of scenario, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yes, payment is due up front. Now, you can pay whatever you want up front, and I can just take the rest out of your return. Is that something that you would be interested in doing? Absolutely, perfect. Great. Paying the can. All right, thank you very much. Let's see what you've got here. Excuse me, I have a little bit of my own procedures that I go through. Very important. After 500 years, you get very good at learning the ins and outs of the money. Goodness golly gracious, this one is from the 17th century. I don't even know what century it is. Is that a while ago? You're not sure either? Now, time certainly does seem to lose all meaning when you are trapped in one confined space for any long period of time, now doesn't it? Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see, we've got these here. Yes, that is an important part of the process. You can smell if anyone has put any copper in the silver. Copper has a very, very distinctive sort of smell. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Yes, I guarantee you this is all part of the process. And I know what you're thinking. 60 gold, 60 gold. The price is steep. And I will have to agree the price is a bit steep. However, when you consider the alternative, which we both know what the alternative is, the price suddenly doesn't seem as steep anymore, does it? That's what I thought. Now, do you mind if I just take the whole pouch? Do you need this for any reason? Perfect, thank you. Excellent, we will file that one away as well. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we have your starting fee covered. You will still owe us a little bit, but that gets you well on your way. Well on your merry little way. Okay, next. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Goodness gracious, we are going so quickly through this. It seems like time just flies when you're having fun. Isn't that correct? Absolutely, this is so much fun. I'm having so much fun. Now, I will need you to take a little look at this sheet and sign it for me if you would. It's just our terms and conditions. So you're not going to read it? Perfect. Spectacular. Just sign your name at the bottom there, or right at the X. Now, for the next part of this procedure, once I get you signed in, yes, I will need to prick your finger. It won't hurt that much. It's just a little prick. You won't even feel it. It's customary around here to sign with blood. Yes, I know. You've never done this before. I don't blame you. However, there comes a time in everyone's life where they have to file their own taxes. But that's what you have me for. So, good on you. All right. Are you ready? You can look away if you don't. You won't. Okay. Just. Oh, goodness gracious, I think I got the wrong spot. Well, you know, that should still work. That should still work. Just press your hand right down there. This spot right here. Right there. Yeah, great, perfect, excellent. And now the contract is complete. We've got your blood, we've got your name. So, how do you spell your name, by the way? Don't want to get that incorrect. Am I absolutely correct? Absolutely correct. Lovely name, beautiful name. You know, I once knew someone who was named after a pastry. Was that me or was that someone else? It's all a blur. Regardless. Next, I am going to need your home address. If you don't have a consistent home address, you can just give me the nearest tavern to wherever you usually stay. Alright, perfect. I've never heard of that one. Is it good? Do they serve the good stuff? Perfect, excellent. I will have to check that out. In what realm? Perfect. That'll work. That'll work well enough for us. Your social security number. I know your privacy is of our utmost concern, but this is one of those instances in which it is actually 100% appropriate that you give that to us. It is made for accounting and taxation purposes. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Now I'm just going to need your intelligence and wisdom scores, please. You can find those on your personal identification sheet that was mandated to you at birth. Yes, it was given along with your birth certificate. Do you have that with you? Not that you would need it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, and what are those numbers? Isn't it strange how we're given a sheet of paper at the beginning of our lives that determines what we will do for the rest of it? Do you ever sit at night and think about how odd that might be? Determines your intelligence level, your strength, even the job you're going to have later in life. You've never found that odd? Me neither, then. It makes perfect sense. It makes everything so easy. You know what I mean? Absolutely. All right. Got your intelligence, your wisdom. All the other ones are irrelevant. I don't need those for our purposes. Though, could you give me your charisma as well? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving that to me. So, we have your intelligence and wisdom, and I have your charisma. Perfect. So it is time for us now to figure out what you owe, and perhaps more importantly, where we can save you some money. Now, so let's start with your dependents. Do you have any dependents? You need some examples? Well, let's see. That would be things like children, familiars, aunts or uncles who might have been turned into pigs, frogs for an extended period of time. You have to provide for more than half of their living, their well-being. None of that seems to apply to you? Well, we also have an exemption for sentient objects. You know, maybe a cursed item you can't seem to get rid of anymore, a talking washboard that won't shut up, or swords. We get a lot of sentient, evil swords, and I haven't the slightest idea why. Of all things, a sword. You know, I guess it makes sense. We do have a lot of adventurers who are easily drawn to shiny, sharp objects, but that doesn't seem to interest me at all. No siree. I would like to stay here in my cubicle and never adventure for the rest of my life. Anyways, do you have any of those things? All right, perfect. Okay. Gotcha. Are you a necromancer? Well, have you any abilities to conjure fae or elementals or undead? Yes, you can actually claim all of your undead servants as dependents on your taxes. We recently had a young one who discovered that loophole. The youths, you know? Those crazy, crazy kids. All right, well, you don't have any of those. What a shame, what a shame. You could be saving a lot of money with that. And ruining some empires, probably. Well, that's none of my business. I just do the numbers. Let's talk income now. How much gold have you acquired in the last year? Just give your best. Nice. You're pretty well off for yourself there, aren't you? You wouldn't want to leave any of that lying around, especially not in this corner of the universe, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's pretty shady around here, if you get my drift. Yeah. What kind of loot from dungeons? Jewels, magical items, the like? Yes, unfortunately, magical items do count as income for our purposes because most of them do have measurable value that you can find somewhere out there, and you could technically sell them for gold. So, yes, those count. Okay, don't worry, those are pretty common and they won't count for too much. Do you only have one? Okay. Excellent. Now, of course, if you did have more magical items, you would always have the option of leaving them with us. They wouldn't be on your person anymore. Not many people want to do that though, and it is technically illegal, but you know, it's just semantics, it's logistics, it's all the tiny little things, right? And I do not blame you for not wanting to leave them alone up here, not at all. So we will not be taking that option. So now you're beginning to understand that is why so many witches and wizards leave all their stuff locked away in a remote dungeon where no one can find it. And after all, the IRS can't come looking for you if you can't get past the purple worm. That is coming up again. How odd. Why is that on my brain today? Weird. Nonetheless. Well, let's just do one more sweep through everything. Got that. Any fun plans for this evening? Nothing? Me neither. Unfortunately, this is essentially where I live. I don't have a lot of other things going on. You understand. We have a lot of free time down here. This is a very small office, yes. I do not see a lot of other people very often, but that's me rambling again. Never mind about me, that's not. This is about you and your taxes, and how we can save you some money. And not dodge the IRS. I probably shouldn't be speaking like that, should I? Not that it would really matter much, I suppose, considering that when you think about where we are and the circumstances under which we are currently filing. All right. Got that. You have pricked your finger. Got your intelligence and wisdom. Put that in. What is today's date? Perfect. And the time doesn't matter, doesn't exist. There is no time down here. Perfect. Well, running this through, it would appear that you won't owe anything, which is positive. I don't see that often down here, but we'll get back to you on that one, okay? It's nothing to worry about if you do. It'll only be a little bit. It might only be a little painful. You'll be fine. Everything here looks as if you're covered and your money is safe with me. All of your accountable things are safe with me. Goodness gracious. Horns, you never can get used to them even after hundreds of years. You know what I mean? All of us still have issues with it. Goodness gracious, golly gracious. So, with that, with all of your information inputted into our system, the rest of it will be sent off for review. Congratulations. Good on you. You have officially done one adult thing today. You can go take care of yourself, take a nap, take a 5-hour nap. 5 hours, 2 weeks, permanently. That's what I always say. Self-care, you know what I mean? I personally would like to take a long walk off of a short pier, but that's just me. So enjoy yourself this evening and the nothing that you will be getting up to. I am quite the same, you know. If you ever would want to come down here again, and maybe you wouldn't have to file again, obviously, but if you needed something else that needed counting, I'm really great at counting and accounting. You could just, I understand. Yes, well, get up to whatever it is you're doing, napping, sleeping, watching the Netflix. Is that what they call it? Yes. The Netflix. You could do that. You could binge on the Netflix. Now, before you do go binge on the Netflix, I do have to give you that survey, if you wouldn't mind taking it. Would love that. Right there, the big old survey, if you just want to. Perfect. You can tell us how your service was, how your experience was with us today, and I also do have a tip jar if you would like to leave a tip if you were satisfied, besides just giving me the survey. The surveys don't really do anything, in all honesty, because I'm the only employee. So if you would like to... Oh, thank you, goody golly gracious. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Well, you can just leave everything the way it was. Don't mind anything else. Yes, you can just leave where you came out. Perfect. No, thank you. My pleasure, absolutely. Have a good one. My pleasure. My pleasure. Yes, yes. Tally along.